Hi, good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining me for another meeting of the Paris Science Group. Today, we're going to talk about what we learned from the experience of the COVID-19, what impact it had on us. And today's meeting, I hope, will be a little bit different from the previous meeting, in that I'll only talk for half the meeting and a little talk for the second half. So my talk will be about just over 30 minutes, and we'll spend the rest of the time having each one of you tell us how, based on COVID-19, your perception of life have changed, or how you perceived what's important in life in a sense, in a slightly different way. So let's begin. And the title I use today is Learning from the COVID-19 Pandemic, or what we got from that is what really matters in life. And again, my name is Fred Noor. I'm a medical doctor and a neurologist. And before we begin, a disclaimer that again, this conference is not based on any hard science whatsoever. This conference is based on soft science, philosophy type of science, which could not be measured, could not be tested or seen. And everything you hear by me, as well as every one of you, is going to be a subjective opinion, the way we perceive things. What is the truth? No one of us knows. We only know how we perceive the truth. So, learning what we feel is important when we are afraid of dying. This is really what we're going to be talking about. What I call learning from the almost dead. The person who knows, oh my God, I got COVID-19 disease, I could be dying. Oh my God, my life, what happened in my life? What was good, I'm glad I did. What was bad, I wish I didn't waste my time doing. And COVID-19 had a significant worldwide effect, quite significant. There are over 7 million people who had been infected and discovered the shocking and the scary knowledge that I have this new virus for which we have no treatment whatsoever, for which we really have nothing to do but for me and my body alone, without the help of any external medication or method, that we have to fight it, and I can make it or I can die. And I can join the 400,000 people that are already dead. Oh my God, what a scary experience. All these years, all this life, and now this is happening, could be happening to me. Or maybe I don't have the infection, but I'm afraid I could join the 7 million people and add another number to the 400,000 deaths. And that resulted in over 3 billion persons worldwide locked inside their homes. Probably the first time in history ever you had that many people sitting inside their house, their apartment, their rooms, and that didn't last a day, a week, as you know, it lasted few weeks. In Paris, we had 55 days of lockdown. So what did we do during that time? We were forced to stay in one place. What did we react? And first, I'm going to share with you a French experience. A famous French woman called Belle. And let's see what Belle did in 2020.
Little town, everyone's in lockdown. All alone, they remain at home. Little town full of little people. waking up to say,
Stay home. Stay home.
stay home.
Stay home.
There comes old Bernie and he's got corona. So why the heck is he outside? Walks around as though he's
I
well.
got corona.
With a sanitizer gel. He's gonna get us all infected.
Good morning, Belle.
Good morning, Joe.
Why aren't you quarantined?
I'm not sick. I'm just on my way to Costco to buy some toilet paper before we're out.
That's nice. Sandy, the Bureau, hurry up.
I've yet to see a reckless fool quite like her. Without a mask on, up she goes. In a broad she's been.
And she thinks no one had seen.
She's gonna get us all infected. That is Belle.
Stay home.
Of course.
We're all in lockdown.
Stay home.
With you.
At least 6 feet. They close our schools.
It's now a ghost town.
There's no just Belle 800 points.
You again.
Good morning, Albert. I'm done reading the book.
Did you wash your hands?
I don't remember. Is there anything new?
I'm serious. Wash your hands.
No worries. Okay, I'll take this one.
Another Stephen King. Are you sure?
I'm not feeling well. I've got a fever, terrible cough. I think I've got corona.
I think it was. Just come near me. Don't touch me.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And there she goes with runny nose and fever. She never covered when she sneezed.
She forgets to wash her hands.
But she can't comprehend.
The dangers of corona, that is Belle. No, the world isn't ending. This is just another flu. You see, true. Now the death rate's higher, but we can't control when we will die. So let it be. Corona isn't just another virus, and yet she doesn't seem to care.
She does look kind of pale, and her breathing seems to fail. Very different from the rest of us.
She's nothing like the rest of us. She's gonna be the end of us.
Here we go. So, what did Belle do because of COVID-19? What did we do? Belle was one of those that did absolutely nothing. She didn't take it seriously. It didn't bother her. She didn't do anything different. She continued as we are. But other people were different. Other people did some deep thinking. Well, I could die. Oh my God, what happened to me in the past? What about life? What have I done that's important to me? What have I done that's not very important to me? And intellectuals like us try to learn from it. Try to learn from every experience. If you join Paris Science Group, you're probably an intellectual who like to think, and you probably thought and tried to learn something now that's coming over. But you probably wonder, why do I need to learn? Many tell me, I know it all. There's nothing new to learn. I know everything in life. Don't waste my time. I know it all. I'm going to go and have fun, drink a beer, and do something else. Not learn, then it's boring. I say this is typically what the ignorant say. And let me share with you a story that I maybe shared before, but have an impact on me. Where I'm a neurologist, I studied the brain. One of the areas in the brain is neuroplasticity. But I know that I don't know it all. There's so much about neuroplasticity that I don't know. So there was an international meeting about neuroplasticity, and I didn't know much about the speaker, but I thought I'm going to go there to see what else can I learn. And during the presentation, the speaker made a statement that I know for a fact is completely true. As an example for those who live in Paris, somebody stands up and states that the Eiffel Tower is located in the Isle of Cité. You live in Paris, you know where the Isle of Cité, you have been there many times. You have been to the Eiffel Tower, and you know that it is not in the Isle of Cité. So I intercepted and said, no, this is not correct. The correct information is so and so. And oh my God, the speaker got very angry and she said, I'm here to give you the lecture to teach you about neuroplasticity. You're there to sit down and listen. If you think you know it all, why didn't you stand up and give the lecture instead of me? And disagreeing with me, making a correction, is destructive criticism. It's not a good thing to do. You're a terrible person to stand up, contradict me, and try to correct me in front of everybody. I really had two options: either to explain to her that I don't know everything about neuroplasticity, neither do you, neither do anybody here. We are all there to learn from each other, to receive different pieces of information that we can accept some or not, and we all end up with different perception of neuroplasticity. But I felt in my mind she is typically the ignorant. So I listened to the words of a wise man. His name is Mark Twain, and he said, never argue with a stupid people. They will drag you down to the level, meaning to stupid level of argument, and they beat you up with experience in making stupid logic. So I decided not to say anything, wait for the end, and just politely leave. But I do believe that we need to learn because I don't know everything. And let me tell you a story about that I came across that really stuck in my mind about I don't know everything and it's impossible to know everything. We had a conference for 2 days, all day Saturday and all day Sunday, to talk about one symptom of one disease in neurology called multiple sclerosis. That symptom was fatigue. At the end of the second day, a famous specialist in America in multiple sclerosis stood up and made the following statement that really stuck in my mind. He said, when I joined the medical school, I made up my mind that I'm going to learn everything about medicine. I'm going to be the first physician ever to know each and every fact that is there related to medicine, no matter how much time and effort that will take. So by the end of my second year, end of my third year, well, this is absolutely impossible. It's too much information. It's impossible for any human being to acquire it. It's like the one who decides, I want to see all the videos on YouTube. As you know, if you want to see all the videos on YouTube, it will take you 400 years. Nobody can ever live for 400 years, so nobody can ever see all the videos on YouTube. So I felt there's no way I can know everything about medicine. We typically spend half the time learning about medicine, half the time learning about surgery and its different branches. So okay, I'll make it easier for myself. I'll just specialize in medicine and forget about surgery. I'm just going to study the medical branch of the medical degree. As I started to study that, I realized, no, this is too much, too big. There's no way I can do that. Maybe I can manage if I pick up one specialty only. So I decided to pick up neurology. I just have to learn the brain and its diseases, and I know everything about it as the first physician ever to know it all. As I went through the neurology residency, I discovered that this is too much. It's impossible to know everything about neurology. I cannot do it. It's impossible. So I will specialize in just one disease, multiple sclerosis. And I will know everything about multiple sclerosis. I'll be the one in the world that know everything ever said or written about multiple sclerosis. I said, I come here today and we talk about one symptom of one disease. The amount of information presented is far too much for one person to know it. Now I feel I cannot even specialize in one symptom of one disease. At the end, I have to accept the fact that I do not know everything. I cannot know everything, no matter who am I, no matter how much time and effort I can. That's very important to know. I can never know it all. And we have to accept that. If we don't, then we join the woman who gave the speech about neuroplasticity and we, I know it all, you sit down and listen to me. And I want to learn. When do I want to learn? I say you want to learn from the moment you're born to the moment of your death. And I think probably your death is the biggest learning experience you'll ever have. But sadly, that people don't come back and tell us what happened, don't respond to our letter messages, so we never know. So I guess we have to wait until we die and we see what we learn from that. And then where do we learn? Oh, we learn at school? No, we learn here? No. You learn everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. And from whom do you learn? From those that know more than you? No. You learn from those who know more than you, as well as from those who know less than you. I taught in medical school for many years, and every month I get a group of 8 to 10 medical students. They're not doctors yet, they're just medical students. But first day, I tell them that I will teach them what I know about neurology, but they owe me back teaching me two things. At least one thing about other branches of medicine that I do not know, as well as teach me something new about neurology that I, as a neurologist, did not know. And they tried very hard, and the great majorities succeeded in finding something they know, they learned, they found somewhere that I did not know. What I want to convey is you have to be willing to learn from those that know a lot more than you, as well as those who know a lot less than you. They still know things that you don't know that you need to learn from it. One of the most fascinating things in life I found is how humans change their perception of life and what's important according to your health status. Meaning what? When we are healthy and powerful, we perceive life in a certain way. I want power and control. I want to be the head of this department. I want to be the chairman of this section. No, no, no. I want to be the CEO of this company. I want to be the president of this company. I want to be the prime minister of this country. Technically, we want money. I want more money. I fight with you about this money. This is my money, not your money. Money is very important. And we want sex. I am a beautiful woman. I deserve a better man than I'm marrying. I'm going to divorce him and look for a better man because I deserve more sex. I deserve to have someone who's more sexy. And it's the same for the men about the women and so on. We want power and control, money, sex, few other things. But these are the three consistent things. Then when we get very sick and we're dying, when we have a little bit of time, we perceive things totally different. We don't want power and control. I am the prime minister of this country, but what can I do to stop myself from dying? Nothing. Sorry, sir. There's nothing we can do. You're going to die. Then power and control have no value. Money. I have a lot of money. But what can money do for me? Nothing. Sex. I have the flu. I feel I don't want to have sex. Now I'm dying. What about sex? Forget it. I don't care about sex at all. It's totally unimportant to me. What we want from life changes. So as we have the fear of dying from coronavirus, we start to think what I want now is happiness and content. Not power, not control, not money, not sex, none of that. I want to have happiness. And we start to look back at life. What did we do that gave us happiness? And what did we do that didn't give us happiness? So I'm going to tell you about what I learned from the COVID-19 lessons. With 3 billion people sitting at home thinking about that. But how can I learn that? First fact is that 80% of COVID-19 patients who go on the ventilator, they die. And as a result, they cannot tell me anything. I cannot learn from them. The other 20% that survive are usually heavily sedated, and after they take them off the ventilator, it takes them weeks, sometimes a month or so, to lose the effect of the sedation, to be able to think straight and tell us what they learned from that or how they felt. So that's going to be very useful. Even worse, I have not treated one single coronavirus patient. So what a hypocrisy. He's going to talk to us about that. And even worse, I don't practice medicine anymore. I got tired of socialized medicine. Decided to retire early before I get too old and weak to enjoy life, and the heck to it, I'm trying to enjoy life now. But I can tell you because I have learned from a similar lessons over the years under similar circumstances. Meaning I came across a lot of people that are dying, and as a result their perception of life have changed, similar to all the people that are scared of COVID-19, similar to all the people that were diagnosed with COVID-19, and I think I can apply these lessons. So, what gave me the chance to learn that is that as a neurologist, I treat a disease we call in neurology ALS, short for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. You don't have to know much about it, except that it's a disease that affects people later in life, usually in their 60s, and it causes disintegration of the muscle system. So your muscles start to shrink and shrink and shrink until basically you have no muscles whatsoever. And when it affects the muscles for breathing, you're unable to breathe. And if you can't breathe, you die. So once you have the disease, you gradually decline until eventually you die. And we don't have any treatment for it. What is especially interesting about ALS is who gets it. It consistently affects the highly motivated, highly successful people. So if Steve Jobs died of a neurological disease, it's going to be ALS. If Jeff Bezos is going to die of neurological disease, it's going to be ALS, and so on. Or if Benjamin Netanyahu fought very, very hard to continue to be the prime minister of Israel, and he dies of a neurological disease without knowing anything, it's going to be this disease, ALS. So the patient are always highly successful people that have achieved a lot in life, usually very intelligent, have good ability to look inside. What is interesting is their life expectancy is 1 to 4 years. It either starts from the throat and goes down, or from the feet and goes up. Because the distance from the throat to the lungs is shorter, people die within about 1 year. From the feet up, they have about 4 years. So each one of them discovered that I have between 1 and 4 years to live. After that, I'm gonna die. So what happened? They go through the usual so-called grief reaction. But thing is called shock and denial. Doctor, you're wrong. I don't have it. You're making a mistake. I'm gonna go and see a real doctor who will tell me that I don't have it. And thank you, goodbye. And I usually arrange for them to go to another big university, big place, or they agreed with me, okay, let's try a third place, let's try a fourth place, and at the end, you'll tell them that. Next phase is bargaining and hope. Aha, I found this guy who has this special powder. It's very expensive. It has to be expensive. It's $20,000 a bottle, but he's going to spray it on me, and I'm going to be cured, and it's going to go away. And this is brand new. Usually this guy have a wonderful website that tell you how wonderful he is. He raises the dead and does all the magical things that you can never imagine for a huge amount of money, but give me my money, I'll do it for you. And they go through that. This guy doesn't do anything. It's all fraud. It's all a form of theft, deceiving you to get your money. And at the end, you realize, no, it looks like I'm going to die. They get angry. Sometimes they even get angry at the doctor, angry at the family, angry at everybody, and then they get depressed. All of them eventually get depressed. Many times I try early to tell them that you are going to get depressed. Let's start you early on an antidepressant. Some agree, some don't. Eventually, they all come to acceptance. Okay, the fact is, I have that disease. A disease is not going to go away. I'm going to die. I have 2 years or 3 years. And that is the time when they start to stop and look back at their life and start to think, what did I do in my life that was good? And what did I do in my life that was a waste of time? And first time I came across a patient like that was a woman, I remember distinctly. She was a philosophy professor. And I enjoyed when she talked to me about thinking back at her life, what she did that was important and valuable, and it wasn't. I'm a human being. I'm going through this world like everybody else. And I know for a fact that one day I'm going to die, no matter what. It is going to happen. No doubt about it. So I wanted to learn from them so I can apply that to myself. I don't want to wait until it's too late and have 1, 2, 3, or 4 years to live and then decide what should I have done, what I shouldn't. I decided I want to do that now. And my purpose in this talk today is to convey that to you, hoping that you will benefit from that and apply that to your own life long before you die, long before you're at risk of dying. I'm hoping that the COVID 19 scare got you to think and realize that I better think and focus on what's important in life. So, what did I found? What have I learned from the almost dead? Who's unfortunately all of them are dead now. What gives us consistently the most joy in life? I talked to everybody, give me a slight variation, but each one have common themes, certain things that everybody says, which I call the true inner happiness. So let's go over what people told me about that. First, let's learn from one famous person who died, and before dying, he wrote some notes about what he learned from life, what is important for him.
Steve Jobs' last words will change your views on life. The billionaire passed away at the age of 56 of pancreatic cancer. These are his last words. I reached the pinnacle of success in the business world. In others' eyes, my life is an epitome of success. However, aside from work, I have little joy. In the end, wealth is only a fact of life that I am accustomed to. At this moment, lying on the sick bed and recalling my whole life, I realize that all the recognition and wealth that I took so much pride in have paled and become meaningless in the face of impending death. You can employ someone to drive the car for you, make money for you, but you cannot have someone to bear the sickness for you. Material things lost can be found, but there is one thing that can never be found when it is lost: life. When a person goes into the operating room, he will realize that there is one book that he has yet to finish reading. Book of Healthy Life. Whichever stage in life we are at right now, with time, we will face the day when the curtain comes down. Treasure love for your family, love for your spouse, love for your friends. Treat yourself well. Cherish others. As we grow older and hence wiser, we slowly realize that. Wearing a $300 or $30 watch, they both tell the same time. Whether we carry a $300 or $30 wallet or handbag, the amount of money inside is the same. Whether we drive a $150,000 car or a $30,000 car, the road and distance are the same, and we get to the same destination. Whether we drink a bottle of $300 or $10 wine, the hangover is the same. Whether the house we live in is 300 or 3,000 square feet, loneliness is the same. You will realize your true inner happiness does not come from the material things of this world. Whether you fly first or economy class, if the plane goes down, you go down with it. Therefore, I hope you realize when you have mates, buddies and old friends, brothers and sisters, who you chat with, laugh with, talk with, have sing songs with, talk about north, south, east, west or heaven and earth. That is true happiness. 5 undeniable facts of life. 1. Don't educate your children to be rich. Educate them to be happy. So, when they grow up, they will know the value of things, not the price. 2. Best awarded words in London: eat your food as your medicines. Otherwise, you have to eat medicines as your food. 3. The ones who love you will never leave you for another because. Even if there are 100 reasons to give up, he or she will find one reason to hold on. 4. There is a big difference between a human being and being human. Only a few really understand it. 5. You are loved when you are born. You will be loved when you die. In between, you have to manage. Note, if you just want to walk fast, walk alone. But if you want to walk far, walk together. 6 best doctors in the world. 1. Sunlight. 2. Rest. 3. Exercise. 4. Diet. 5. Self-confidence. And 6. Friends. Maintain them in all stages of life and enjoy a healthy life. God loves you.
Wonderful word by a famous, very successful man that we all know. So that is one person perspective. I'm going to go over what was common by other people, and part of it will be a little bit of repetition of that. But what are the joy that we all share? Most common one I heard is being with the right partner. I married this wonderful man, or I'm so happy that I married this wonderful woman. The thing that matters in life to me now that I'm dying, the thing that gave me the most joy and pleasure was with this right person, whether the right man or the right woman. And that makes me feel how important it is to select the right person and how it is a foundation for a lifetime of happiness. That's why I recommend to my children to spend the most time and effort, not to get promotion, not to make more money, but to find the right person and to free the time to spend with that person, to know them better, to enjoy them better. I feel we are all guilty of not doing that. I'm too busy, I don't have time. I can see you next week on Tuesday from 7:30 to 7:45, and the week after that on Wednesday from 6 to 7, and that's it because I'm too busy, I have too much to do. It's sad in my mind based on what I heard from all these people. What other joy that are very consistent, everybody tell me, are these? My children. I have wonderful children. I love them so much. They love me so much. I am so glad I had them. And it's sad how many people feel guilty or regret I did not spend enough time with them. I was busy working, I was busy making money, I was busy enjoying power and control, I was busy having sex, and I forgot to spend the time to enjoy them and have them enjoy me. I wish I spent more time with that. Other joys are friends. A lot of people find friends very important, very useful. But the thing that surprised me that I consistently heard from people one after one after one is complaining about the difficulty in finding true friends. And the word true is in italic to say that not all friends are true friends. Some want just to go out with you to have some company so you can have a beer and have fun. Who you are, it doesn't matter. Any other guy will do. Some just want a companion so we can go dancing, we can go to a bar so I can meet another perfect guy, just a vehicle there. And sadly, that's a lot. Finding true friends is very difficult and very rare. So if you have a true friend, cherish them, reinforce the meaning, because there is an unparalleled joy to having a true friend, a friend who will stay with you when you're sick. The British say a friend in need is a friend indeed. It's true. Many friends, are you sick? Okay, call me when you feel better. Bye bye. And you never hear from them. Sadly, that's true. But if you have friends, if you can find friends that are true friends, that will stay with you no matter what, cherish them, protect them, and stay with them. What are the regrets? I used to ask everybody, okay, you had all these successes. What did you do in your life that you hated or that you regret? And they're very common things. They all answered me using the same three-letter words. And let me pause here and see if anybody can tell me who are these three-letter words. Anybody knows? It is the word not. Everybody, when I ask them, what were your regrets? They start the answer by the word not. Not marrying this wonderful man or wonderful woman when I was young and I thought I'll let them go and I find somebody else better later on. And life passed and passed and passed. I could never find anybody better. And I regret not marrying this man or this woman. A lot of people told me that. And not divorcing this man or this woman. I lived with this man for 40 years. I hated him. I was miserable. I just was afraid of leaving and I regret it. Now that I'm dying, I wish I divorced that man or that woman long time ago, either found someone better, or even if I did it, at least I'll have less misery. I regret continuing a relationship that was not fruitful, that was not happy. I regret accepting this position or that transfer or this, and I wish I did that. I regret not traveling to Europe, not traveling to France, not traveling to China, not traveling to this for a job, for a promotion, for this and that. And that's sad. I regret. I wish I didn't. Many I regret I didn't say this or that. There was a situation when I should have said yes, no, this is wrong, and I didn't. And today, 30 or 40 years later, I regret that. I wish I said that. And when people tell me I didn't do this, didn't do that, I regret this and that, I just ask them, why? Why didn't you do it? And the answer is always the same. Because I was afraid of whatever, always afraid of. Fear. Fear is an emotion that we unfortunately always regret. As you know, fear comes from the limbic system. Fear is automatic. Fear is a self-protection, fear, self-preservation, and it uses little energy. The opposite of fear is courage, taking risk. Taking risk is a new brain function. It takes more effort, it takes more energy. So fear is easier than courage. But if we try to take courage, use courage, have courage, take risk, willing to take and accept risk, we always find happiness and less regrets. So if you're afraid of anything, tell yourself, no, one day when I'm dying, I'm going to go back and look at this and say, oh, I regret that I was afraid. Other thing that I never heard from people is about this. I never had any money telling me, I wish I earned more money. I haven't earned enough money, and if I have to do it again, I'll go and earn more money. Never ever heard that. Nobody ever talked about, if I had more money, I was going to be happier, I was going to have a better life. When we're sick, money doesn't matter. You heard it very clearly from Steve Jobs, who was a billionaire. Money then didn't matter. Couldn't buy him health, couldn't get him to live longer, had no value whatsoever. When he was healthy, maybe. When he's not, it didn't. What else? Work. Nobody told me, I wish I worked more. I wish I spent more times in the office. I wish I spent more time in the lab and invented something else more valuable. Nobody ever does that. Work? No, work is just a method to earn money to support yourself. But what is important in life is totally different. I never had people talk about this sex. I wish I had more sex. I wish I had a better sex life. I wish I had a more sexy wife. I wish I had a more sexy man. Nobody ever told me that. Why? I thought when young you wanted to have, no, it's just short term and forget it and that's it. No, it's not important. I sure, yes, absolutely. It's nothing. I never think about it now that I'm dying. Never heard of that. But interesting, nobody ever told me that had unhappy childhood. I hear some people say, oh, my childhood was miserable and this and that. But when they're old and dying, no, my childhood, when I think back of it, was wonderful. I was extremely happy. I never had them talk about my teen years was miserable, was stressful. Oh my God, the teens was terrible time. No. Now that I'm dying and I look back at my life, think of the years I was teenager, they were so happy. I only have wonderful memories. All the suffering of teenage somehow disappears quickly. We don't forget how happy we were. Let me stop at that. And now it is your turn. Tell me what you learned from COVID 19 and how COVID 19 will alter your life. And we're going to do that in a different way.